Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Lorraine and welcome back to my channel. Now, just before I dive in there and pull your cards for today, I'd just like to say I am an experienced and professional, holistic and spiritual counselor and mentor, and I offer 100% money back guarantee for image readings, tarot readings, also the programs, as well as spiritual and holistic counselling, mentorship, plus advice to help you with union with self and union with the person. And also I offer astrology birth charts. Just check out the details in the description box below this video for more information. So let's dive in there, guys, and let's see what messages the cards have for you, for both you and your person's love journey thus far. And let's see what messages the cards have for you about your person. Alright, so let's go. Let's do this. Okay. Alright, Libra, so you're coming in with the World card, and you are coming in with Temperance here in your reading. Okay. So the World card is coming in as Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus. Alright, guys, and I'll speak more to that. And when you're coming in with Temperance, you're coming in with Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter. Now, coming in with Aquarius here, guys, I just want to check that out for you, Libra. Alright. Aquarius is in your 5th house. Your 5th house is ruled by the Sun. Your 5th house talks about pleasure and creativity here. Alright, now coming in with Sagittarius, you are coming in with your 3rd house, and your 3rd house is ruled by Mercury. Okay, communication. Now let me keep going here. Well, coming in with the World card, most definitely, what these two cards are talking about here, guys, is what's in your reality for your person, and maybe even yourself here. What have you put your time and attention into? This is coming in as people, places, and things when you're coming in with the World card. Well, in a way, what it can talk about there in your reading is, it is what it is, in a sense here. So when you're coming in with Aquarius here, okay, which is, like I said, your 5th house. Your 5th house is ruled by the Sun. It talks about the relationships that you have built here, and why you built those relationships. What was it built upon? Here in your reading, I do have something here. 1 minute. Yeah, what was it? That's how it's coming in when you're coming in with the World card here. So, like I said, why did you build those relationships? That's what the World card is talking about, because it is talking about a cycle here. Okay, and it is talking about where you started from. Now, of course, this is both you and your person. You are coming in with relationships here, guys, because it's coming in as, like I said, it is what it is. But what I mean by that, now let me break that down. Here in your reading, it talks about the interactions that you've had with people here. It talks about friendship, it talks about family, it also talks about intimate partners here in your reading. Talks about associates, it talks about social networks here, guys, social circle. And, well, most people like to be around people that are going to give them a boost, in a sense here. That's how it's coming in. So, but what I want to say here in your reading is, what was the intention behind building these relationships? That's what the Temperance card is talking about here. Because with Sagittarius here, in your being your third house, and your third house is ruled by Mercury, it is ruled by communication. Once again, what it's talking about there in your reading is, well, what I get here for both you and your person here, guys, it's that relationships, those relationships are changing here. It can come in as, well, you know the past cycle, you know how you treated people in the past cycle here. This is what it's talking about here, guys. So now you know how to make certain changes, coming in with Temperance. Like I said, it is what it is here. So the relationships that you have built, this is how it's turned out here. So by knowing that, by recognizing that here, guys, it's about the role that you played here. Okay, when it came to establishing relationships here, there's a big emphasis on that at this point in time. All right, guys, and wanting to make changes there, that's what it's saying here. Because in a way, what these cards are saying for both you and your person, certain relationships haven't changed, and that comes in because of the level of thinking here. And so what it can also talk about here for your person is that, yeah, their level of thinking has changed, but the people around them haven't changed. That's what it's talking about here with Temperance. See, it also comes in for you and your person here is that still associating yourself, still networking here, connecting here, guys, with friends, family, and work associates here. But the level of thinking here, because that's what it talks about, coming in with Mercury here, being in your third house, when it comes in with communication, the communication is still the same. So the interaction hasn't kind of changed. It's still the same kind of talk. Here it's the same kind of action. Here it's the same kind of emotions and feelings. All right? But for yourself and your person, you're starting to see it differently now. You're seeing that, hey, this hasn't changed at all here. It can come in as tiresome here. Yeah. Oh, it's the same kind of talk. I'm not being negative here, but there is a negative element coming out with both these cards here. Oh, it's the same kind of talk. There's no changes being made here. It's the same thing every time I hang out with these people. It's the same kind of routine, and I don't want to be in that routine. It comes in that way. I don't want to be here. You know, guys. It's like, okay, so you rock up to, you go out, let's put it that way, as opposed to rocking up here. You go out, yeah, and you go out with a few friends, and you're going to celebrate this friend's birthday, and you go to an old place that you used to go to before with your friends, yeah. But now that things, and both for you and your friends, things have changed, yeah, you're settled down, it's coming in that way, you've got a career, and so you go to this place, but the memories that you have are just memories here. And so you're sitting there and you're looking around, and you're looking around at people, and you're looking around at the scene, and you think to yourself, wow, I just don't I don't fit in anymore. It's not my scene anymore. And you feel that difference. This is what these cards are talking about here. See, what it also talks about with the World card is, like I said, it's the how. How did you establish these relationships? Why did you establish relationships here? Yeah, and what were your intentions here? See, that's what the World card is also talking about, because you're coming in with reciprocity here, in a sense. What you give, do you receive that in return? See, all of that is coming into both you and your person's awareness here. See, it can also talk about, in some situations, you overlooked, here, this is both you and your person, so you overlook certain traits and characteristics here. You overlook certain behaviors here. Alright, okay guys? And you always looked at the positive here. The positive side of things. You always wanted to be a lot more positive here. That's what it's coming in as. Alright guys? But did that work for you? Did it work? Did it create the changes that you wanted to create in your life, in your social circle, the people that you mixed and mingled with? Here, these two cards are coming in that way. Alright guys? Yeah. See, it's like your person's changed. Your person has changed here. But the world around them hasn't. That's what it's saying. And see, with the World card, what it can talk about there is that for both you and your person is realizing where you could have made changes. Yeah, it's coming in as your social life is changing. That's what I'm getting. For both you and your person, you're mixing with different people. You want to now. That's also coming in here. Alright, so let's keep going here, guys. Alright, let's give it one more shuffle. Alright guys, so you were coming in, see that's the now. The World card and the Temperance card. Okay, that's what's happening at this point in time for both you and your person. Now we are coming in with obstacles and challenges, and you're coming in with the Empress, the Seven of Swords, and you're also coming in with the Eight of Pentacles here. Obstacles and challenges here. Alright guys, so you're coming in with the Empress, and the Empress is, well, it's associated to you, Libra, okay, as well as Taurus, because it's ruled by Venus. Now, because you're coming, your first house, so your first house here in your reading, you're coming in with Mars here. Is that right? Yes. Now let me just have a look at your 8th house. Here is ruled by Taurus. Your 8th house is Taurus, alright, and your 8th house is ruled by Pluto. Now Pluto was in Aquarius. Here. Okay, so you're coming in with obstacles and challenges. And Venus is still in Taurus at this point in time. I'll talk about it here, okay guys? I'll talk about the aspects here in your reading. So definitely a lot happening here for yourself here, Libra, coming in with the Empress card. You could very well be dealing with Taurus at this time. See, the 8th house, that talks about changes, that talks about transformations here, okay? And the first house, the house ruled by Mars, is talking about yourself here. And so what it's talking about there in your reading is that changes aren't coming in easy. It isn't easy. How else could I say that? There's a want to change coming in with the Seven of Swords. Alright? There's a want to do the work coming in with the Eight of Pentacles here. I always see the Eight of Pentacles as, here guys, working on yourself to become a better version of yourself here. Alright? And so what the Seven of Swords can talk about here in your reading is that there are still certain things here for both you and your person that you're still holding on to, that you haven't quite let go of yet, in a sense. And it could very well come down to certain relationships here, because you are coming in with the World card here in your reading. See, what it can also talk about there, Libra, is it's difficult to put yourself first here. But it's the way in which you see yourself. It's the way in which this is both you and your person, of course, the way in which you see yourself and the way in which you put yourself first here. That's what I'm getting with the Seven of Swords here. Alright? Because what it can talk about there for both you and your person, it's about the appearance. It's not so much about the inner you, is what I'm getting here. like I said, guys, you're still coming in with the relationships that you have already built and the intention behind it. That's what it's also talking about, coming in with Libra, okay? And Libra being your first house here. There's a big emphasis here on relationships here. That's what I am picking up here, guys. Why you built those relationships, who you built those relationships with, the benefit behind it here, guys. That's all coming in with the Seven of Swords. And now it's proving to be an obstacle and a challenge. What I'm picking up here, coming in with Temperance. And I did say here in your reading, it is what it is. I kind of get here in your relationships, some of the relationships that you have built here, Libra, and of course this is both you and your person, you just built them the same way here. So lessons were never, I want to say learnt here in your reading, but what you may not have been aware of here is that on a subconscious level you built each relationship the same. And so what it can talk about here is that you all, with each relationship that you built, like friends, social status here, guys, social circle, networking, you face the same obstacle and you face the same challenge here. That's what it's also talking about here in your reading. Right, I'm going to pull some more cards here, guys, and we'll go into the potential outcome. Okay, so you have the Page of Wands here. Okay, guys. Alright, so you were coming in with the Page of Wands, the Page of Swords, and you are coming in with the Ten of Wands here in your reading. There is a fear here, guys. Okay. A fear to take another shot, or a fear to take another chance here. It could very well be your person. See, the Page of Wands is someone that doesn't like to be forced here. It doesn't like to be pushed here in your reading. If they find it exciting here, alright guys, if they're passionate and they're excited about it, they will do it, but they will do it their way. That's how I see the Page of Wands. Alright? Yeah, of course, they are driven, they are motivated here. Alright guys? But it's coming in with the Page of Wands, it's all about them. Alright? Right? What's best for the Page of Wands. Yeah, of course, it can be seen as a messenger here. So potentially here in your reading, what it talks about there is, with both the pages on the board, there is that stubbornness coming in here. Pages like to make their own mind up. Okay, they like to do it their way. And I always liken it to a teenager, the page here. So let me keep going with that here in your reading. And when it comes to building and investing in relationships and how to establish relationships here, guys, the page, both pages have their own idea, yet these two pages are actually coming in as the same person here. And there's cautious. You know, this Page of Swords is coming in as someone quite cautious in terms of their approach towards you here, Libra. See, the Page of Swords, what I pick up with the Page of Swords is they like to think for themselves here, and you were coming in with Mercury here in your reading. Yeah, well, what it also talks about here, Libra, is that for the Page of Swords, and I do see it them that way, is that they've already been through trials, they've already been through heartbreak and loss here. Yeah, trials and tribulations. They've already climbed mountains here, and so it comes in as why I said it's a cautious approach here, guys, is that they don't want to go back. They don't want to slip back into old patterns and habits here. Now, coming in with the Ten of Wands, what it talks about there in your reading is that there's a lot of efforts involved here for the page. Alright, let's have a look. Let's see what your advice is. Now that was coming out. Alright guys, so you are coming in with Judgment. Judgment is actually Virgo. Alright, now Virgo is actually in your 12th house. And your 12th house is ruled by Neptune here. And it's about walking away from things here. Walking away from things that no longer serve you. Yeah. There's a big emphasis here also, guys, on your mental health and well-being. This is both you and your person just stepping back from the crowd. And the Judgment card here, those intuitive nudges, is everything I spoke about with the World and Temperance. Alright guys, okay, I am going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your video. I do appreciate your reading, and I'll catch you later. Bye.